Hello and welcome back to the Commander. We're going to head into a tournament straight away here, not for any particular reason apart from the renown gains, because let's face it, early on when you're getting 6 renown every single time you win a tournament, which doesn't even take that long, it takes us about, what, 3 minutes, I think? Maybe 3 minutes if I'm super good at the game, which sometimes I'm okay, sometimes bad things happen, and in which case then we're not going to have the best time ever, but I have done a little bit of customizing to my troop trees. My noble upgrade line is completely done, and we are of course going to attempt to focus on them as much as possible, because most of the time I will prefer to utilize the noble troop tree rather than the peasant troop tree, because if we can, we're going to try and make the strongest, shall we say, trader army that we can, because let's face it, we're kind of a bit of a trader right now, but that is not gonna remain that way. Obviously, we are going to be changing our strategy quite a bit, actually, as we go forward. Obviously, what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to try to get to, I think, I'm not sure. When can I create a faction again? I think it's tier 4, right? I think I can create a faction at tier 4. Not entirely sure on that at the moment. Oh yeah, we're getting shot. Not a big fan of that either. Okay, seems like we're going to have some issues. Oh, no, maybe not some issues. Maybe not some issues. Okay, this is a Falksman. Definitely don't want to get involved with this fellow. He's going to absolutely murder me, but thank you very much for that victory. And now we can go on to the last round, which is going to give me a two-handed axe. This should be pretty easy. Just got to wait here for a little bit for him to drop his guard and then go for nice overheads in a row. And there it is, another 6 renown. So yes, anyway, my main plan right now is to try to farm as much renown as possible, try to farm as much gold as possible, because inevitably, or at least I'm hoping, that we will be able to get to clan tier 6, and we're going to try to do that as fast as possible, of course. Anyway, there's the victory there. Going to go on to the varieties of towns in the area, and we're also going to be on the lookout for a companion, of course, because we do need to find another one to be able to run our second caravan, and that is, of course, what I am going to be attempting to earn through these tournament winnings, through these items that I'm going to be getting, and of course because we're going to continue doing our trade routes and things like that. Any single time I get a two-handed sword as well, even if it is with a bow, we will be attempting to use that, even though I'm not actually a two-handed spec at all. Really have very limited amounts of skill in this. So I'm just going to try and bring these guys away from my own forces, because we want to make sure that they can attack from behind easily enough. And that's going to give them openings to attack. It's going to be much easier for us. There we go, nice. Oh yeah, exactly like that. Yes, that was absolutely perfect. Okay, nice. Yeah, that guy was actually injured, so that's great. Thankfully, they're all attacking from the alternate side, the opposite side of where I'm currently standing, which is making a huge difference to our overall success in this tournament. Because if they were to attack from my side, we would probably have some big problems. Because you could see here that they're all focusing my allies. If they focus my allies, that just means that we will be overall victorious, because then I'm going to be able to output my maximum damage, or as much damage as I can. So we're just going to stand here once again. We're just going to do a nice little overhead. Generally, that is the way that I have found is the most effective to dealing with enemy two-handed weapon users as well. You just run up to them, and then you stop, you just wait, and then you just go for something, well, that would have actually worked if I had a little bit more two-handed skill, but unfortunately, I'm not fast enough. Maybe my reaction time was a bit slow too. Anyway, rugged scale armor is our reward for this, which is going to be extremely nice for us. Hopefully, we're going to be able to equip that, and then we can move on. And, well, actually, I'm wondering whether I should even sell it, because if we take a look at it right now, as you can see, it actually sells for 1,200, which is pretty good, and that's going to give me 6,000 from one item. Could be kind of nice, but I'm actually going to just be equipping it because it is just so much better than what I had on before. Anyway, we're just going to sell this. The Highland Throwing Axe is, of course, going to sell those as well. That's going to give me 2,500, and I think, considering we are going to be in this game for quite some time, I'm probably going to be selling all of this stuff as well, instead of creating things with smithing at the moment. I don't think I'm going to be smithing right now, but I will be smithing very soon, and in which case I will probably try to buy some What are those daggers again called? There's some daggers that you can get from the Empire towns. I know which ones you would recommend I get, but I can't remember the name of them for some reason. I don't know why I never remember the name, but it doesn't matter, because I know which ones would be recommended by those of you in the comments, so I do appreciate that. And hopefully we'll be able to make a good go of it. Anyway, we're going to buy some tools here just because we will have some available to us. We now have 8,200 in cash. Do bear in mind, we're going to need to get about 15,000 to make the next caravan work. Ooh, what do we have here? Okay, we have a guy that's got really, really good fighting skills, but not anything really else. So probably not going to be utilizing him at all. I'm still rather, shall we say, speechless about the fact that we have not run into a tournament that has given me a horse as a reward. Not sure what's going on with that, because usually I would have expected that to be one of the first things that we would see, but it seems to be rather rare, surprisingly enough. Yeah, this is the sword that always fakes me out because of its reach. Because, hilariously enough, the reach is a little bit... it kind of fools you into thinking that it's a bit longer than it actually is. And so, you know, as you could see from the very first slash that I made in that round, the guy was just a little bit out of my range. But that's because I was expecting the sword to be able to hit him from that distance, but it doesn't. And that's always happened to me, actually. It's happened to me quite a few times. So I'd like to try and prevent that from happening in the future. So I will have to get a bit more used to it if we're going to continue doing a couple more tournaments in Battanian territory. Bear in mind, obviously, we're not going to stay here for the whole time, but this is going to be a pretty good way of getting some easy cash, easy renown and everything. I mean, how much renown have we earned so far in this episode? I think, what, 6 so far? Or, no, actually 12 so far. And maybe we'll be able to get another 6 in just a second once we have won this round as well. So we just basically stop right here, wait for him to just do his attack, and then we'll just do 2 overheads. And that's usually how we do things. Wonderful. There we are, another little bit of renown there. And we've also gained yet more Highland throwing axes and 1,000 from bets. Obviously the bets are not 100% pure profit because you're of course putting in quite a bit of cash yourself. Anyway, there's another 1,300 for us right there. And then we're going to go on to some of the Vlandian towns as well. And oh, look at this. We've got our caravan here as well. That's actually really interesting. Okay, so yeah, don't really want to do anything with her right now. We're going to buy some of our noble units from some of these castles here as well. And I think I might actually just like to show you what my people are looking like now. So as you can see, I've given them a slightly different culture, and they've got all kinds of different gear, as you can see. Wait a minute, these guys look, wait a minute, they look different. They look different. Okay, that's good. So you can kind of see what kind of theme I'm going for here. Most of them are going to have a one-handed for siege combat. They're going to have a very sturdy, heavy-duty shield. They're going to have thrown weapons, and they're also going to have a polearm of some kind. And that's usually what I'm going to go for here with my noble line, because that's going to allow them to pretty much do whatever they want. They can... well, I don't really want them to be horse archers for the entirety of the battle. That's the whole point of giving them thrown weapons, because they're only going to have around 3 or 4 that they can use at any one time. I don't want them to continuously be running around in circles. I'd like to actually see them use their lances a little bit as well. But apart from that, I haven't actually customized my peasant troop tree, because as I said, we're going to be slowly trying to phase them out as much as possible so that we can get to a point where we only have nobles in our party. That's kind of what I'd like to go for. Anyway, we have leadership here, as well as riding with this particular companion. Not really looking for that, unfortunately. I'm also looking for some tasks as well. I wouldn't mind doing some tasks for some villages. It seems like we're getting pretty unlucky with that. Not sure what's going on with that. We have this guy. He is actually a smith, but as I said, we are going to be a smith ourselves, so it's not actually going to be that useful for me to get a smithing companion. There's also an arena here. Ooh, hello. That might be a really, really good helmet for us. This is actually another kind of, not sure whether you could call it a tip, really, but this is something that you might want to consider if you're having, you know, issues earning money at all. And I'm not even talking about winning tournaments, because winning tournaments doesn't really give you huge amounts of cash. It does give you a decent amount but obviously the main thing that you want to consider is the item that you get from the tournament. And you've also got to think about, well, what about if you're having difficulties even equipping your character with some kind of upgrade? You know, what if you're having problems with that? Well, tournaments are usually going to be your main source of gear, which actually it is for me most of the time as well, even though it doesn't necessarily have to be, because obviously if you're really good at earning money elsewhere, and I'm talking about, you know, earning money in I don't know, battles, or maybe you're really good at the game thing that that people can play in the taverns. Maybe you're really good at those games that they've included in Bannerlord, and yeah, maybe you're betting with the game host there. And if you are, then well, props to you, because I've never been very good at that. So yeah, there's also that if you want to try it. But then there's also trading, of course. Trading is, in my opinion, very, very good as long as you have a couple of horses that you can take for carry capacity. Early on, it's not so good, not unless you get really lucky with buying something at an extremely cheap price and then going to sell it for a large price. For example, you can buy some food and then take it to a recently besieged city and stuff like that. Because obviously you can buy grain at some places for around 6. I think the 6 or 5 has been the lowest price that I've seen, and you can then take it and sell it for about 18, so it's a significant profit from that, and you can buy a huge amount of it as well, or as much as you can carry at the very least, because let's face it, you're probably not going to be able to carry massive amounts early on, but that's probably the cheapest thing that you're going to be able to really utilize. See, now this is the main problem with Vlandian tournaments as well. I don't know whether you've noticed, but it feels much slower, a much slower pace than you might expect from a Botanian tournament as well. So, you know, it's kind of a case of, yeah, I've just got to attack these guys as fast as possible. Let's just speed this up a little bit, and then we'll go and attack this one as well. There we are. It's nice that they were actually injured a little bit. That was much faster than before. Okay, so I'm going to go for a head thrust here. Nice, that was an instant kill right there. There we go. That's exactly what we love to see. And then we're going to go in for the next one. Oh, it's a sword and shield. Kind of interesting to see that in a Vlandian town. Usually you're going to get a crossbow or a lance or something like that. But no, we actually got this. Okay, well, that's absolutely fine. This guy's pretty short. I mean, Byron's pretty short, actually, but this fellow's obviously quite a bit shorter than us. Interesting. And there we go. Well, that's it. There's another 1,000 for us, and we gained a pretty good helmet. I think this helmet will most likely sell for around 900 or so. Not sure how much money we have right now. I think around 10,000, I think. Yeah, we have 9.7. So, if it's not any good for us... Oh, no, it's actually selling for a lot more. Okay, yeah, sure. We'll actually equip that because this sells for around 900, and that's what I was expecting, so I'm pretty happy to just swap those around. That's perfectly fine with me. And then we're just going to head on to the next town over. Ooh, there is actually a task here. I'd like to do a task. Ooh, hello. This is absolutely perfect. All right, this is exactly what I was looking for this entire time. So, yeah, we're going to go and deliver the hogs. Do I have enough food to be able to... Yeah, I should have enough food to be able to do this. So we are very quickly going to run over. Now, bear in mind, I am moving very fast in the daytime, as you can see. We're moving at 6.0. And that is all thanks to the fact that we have mostly cavalry-based units. And look at that. Look at how fast we were able to get over there. Super, super quickly. And now I'm going to be able to say, hello, there's the 12 hogs. And boom, 840 gold. This is far and away the best quest to take if you are worried about achieving victory in battles. For example, let's say you're doing the rock bottom start. You know, the rock bottom start where you basically have nothing at all, and, well, I don't know, maybe maybe it wouldn't work so well considering you're at war against everyone, of course, in that particular situation, but, well, I digress. The point is, if you have something like that, then, and you have zero money, and you find a quest like this, and let's say you have zero troops with you as well, you're going to have a pretty nice time of things, because then you're just going to be taking one thing from point A to point B, and you have no worries whatsoever about winning any particular battles, because you probably won't be able to, not unless you have a bow or some other ranged solution like a crossbow or something like that. Probably not even if you have thrown weapons. because that's going to be not enough, I think, to be able to win against a majority of large-ish parties of looters. You're going to need a, you know, archery solution in some way, you know, something with a little bit more ammunition to hand. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit too scarce. There we go. We eliminated that guy. Oh, nice. We actually did gain a level from our efforts in the tournament here. I'm actually very surprised. Usually tournament going is not that lucrative for leveling up, but I suppose it's okay for leveling up the lesser used weapon types. So for example, you know, because I don't really use my, well, shall we say the AI doesn't really use my polearm that much because I don't really order them to, but I could make them do that if I wanted. Do you know what I mean? I could definitely make them do that, and I probably will actually going forward. You know, because I did say in the previous episode, you can tell them to just hold fire, and then you can just go for it through that. And that might be a fun thing to do. And we're just going to poke this guy to death right now. He's literally lowering his guard at the worst possible moment. His timing is completely off rhythm, and that is very, very nice for us. Unfortunately, my AI friend here is not doing a particularly good job of cornering him, so I'm going to do the business here and try to do that myself. As you can see, my yellow team member is just taking a battering from him. Not sure what he's doing, to be honest, but there you go. This guy's also a vassal, and he's definitely causing quite the headache for us. Oh, thank you. Finally, Vlandian Sergeant. Finally. Yeah, the first rounds of these tournaments are an utter joke. Every single person is just doing such a terrible job, including myself, actually. Oh, hello there, sir. Okay, this might be a bit harsh. Never mind. Okay, he's dead. Okay, I'm through to the next round. I don't think I have to worry too much about this. We're just going to do this the old-fashioned way. Nice range on this polearm. Got to say that. I am very thankful for that. Otherwise, if it didn't have that range, I would have missed and then moved into his range, and I probably would have died. But thankfully, that did not happen. Alright, here we go. Not bad, not bad. And then we can actually just go for one more hit. That should be enough. Well, two more hits, because I didn't expect to only get 26 damage, but that's fine. Anyway, there it is. Okay, let's kick the air. Let me kick the air real quick. Look at him. This guy is thinking, why is that guy kicking the air? What a weirdo. What is he doing? And yeah, I agree, sir. I agree. Yeah, he's trying to block, and he's trying to do the overhead. Oh, he's trying to do the overhead strategy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. And then he went for a... Yep, he went for a crush. He went for a crush, and that's the point. He went through my block. I couldn't do anything about it. Even if I shut up and didn't talk, boom. He had me dead to rights. There was nothing else I could do. That was it. There was nothing else I could do about that, unfortunately. He was very good at blocking, and that is all that he needed. That was all he needed. Thankfully, we still have a caravan up and running, so it isn't really that bad. We could potentially get this one, but again, she's only a combat-focused companion. Definitely not something I'm looking for here. Gonna go over to Praven and see if we can maybe get something else. I'd like to maybe do another tournament for a village. Not a tournament. Another quest for a village or something like that. There is an army of poachers here. I wouldn't mind doing that, actually, so let's do that right away. There we go. And where do we need to go? We need to go over to Rulund. Over to Rulund. Okay, well, that's perfectly fine. Let's wait here for some time while the poachers approach the village. And we can actually negotiate with them if we want to. Should I negotiate with them? Do I want more charm skill or do I want more combat skills? I think I wouldn't mind some more combat skills. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for... Well, I think veterinary is going to be the overall winner here because this personally gives me plus 20%. But if you think about the cumulative effect of plus 10% hit points to every single mount that my troops have, this is going to be incredible value. So that's what we're going to take here. We do have a little bit more to take with this. Probably going to go for some more smithing. Smithing is going to level up super fast for us. Might go for some more one-handed as well. Ooh, it's a problem, isn't it? It's a problem because I don't really have enough focus points right now to really deal with this. I'm only level 10. I'm only level 10. Okay, we'll go for some more smithing because I want to try and level that up to gain some attribute points so that I can potentially level up just that much quicker. Anyway, we're going to fight these guys. Now, bear in mind, I am probably going to be taking command of my forces here in first person, well, third person, whatever. So I'm just going to press L, and then we're going to switch to free camera. So how do we, there we go. There, that's how we do that. All right, yeah. That's the interface for RTS camera, by the way. I'm not very well versed in using it. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm like, oh, how do I do this? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let me just move all my forces over here. Wow, the enemy is so far away. What are they even doing? Okay, this is gonna be kind of interesting. I'm not entirely sure how this is gonna go, but it's kind of dark, isn't it? I apologize for that. I don't know whether you're gonna be able to even see that much, but I think the best thing I can do is actually just tell my people to charge in, because my cavalry is gonna have an absolute field day with these archers. Hopefully, my cavalry isn't gonna get stuck on the hills, which is what exactly is happening right now. But as you can see, we are just completely running them down now. Oh, what is that? That's not a slashing polearm, right? No, I didn't give them slashing polearms. That's kind of weird. Oh well, never mind. Hopefully my forces will be able to do a relatively decent job. They seem to be... I'm not entirely convinced that my guys are actually doing a good job right now. I mean, they are absolutely obliterating them, don't get me wrong. They are really doing a fantastic job, but they are taking a bit longer than I wanted here. They seem to be hitting them quite nicely, though. Yeah, okay, that doesn't seem particularly bad. Yeah, okay, fine. How many did they actually kill? They killed quite a few. Oh yeah, by the way, this is something that I actually really wanted to tell you at the beginning of the episode so that you wouldn't potentially miss it, because I know some people don't have enough time to watch the whole episode, or maybe they miss a little bit of it, but this is actually something I wanted to tell you. Anyway, what it is that in the previous episodes, you know, when we gained our troops initially, and I was, you know, copying the template of things and leveling that up, and then, you know, leveling the next one up and selecting them and everything, they all had the same stats as the tier 1 unit. That's the bottom line. So in other words, the brioche here, as you can see, it has 50 riding, 60 polearms, 40 one-handed, and 50 athletics. Now, the funny thing about this, it had copied the stats from the brioche all the way through pesto, zucchini, milk, and tiger, all the way down here. All the way down here. And so the tiger, even if we didn't, you know, even if we had one, we don't have one right now, but even if we had one, it would have the same stats as the brioche. You see? And it was also having the same armor as well. So literally it had some of the worst gear in the game, and it had some of the worst stats in the game, and that was the reason why we were having so many issues actually winning those battles beforehand. But now that's obviously a very, very different thing. So we don't have to worry too much about actually achieving victory against random bandits and things like that now. And we did actually gain another 935, which is pretty decent, not bad at all if I do say so myself. And we're just going to go in here and just sell these things real fast, because they're actually going to sell for a decent amount. Nothing too dramatic, of course, but okay. We're also going to sell some fine steel there as well. And oh, I should probably have sold that leather too, all things considered. That sells for 128. Not the greatest thing ever. Let's just see what's actually going on here. Okay, not really a big fan of doing tournaments in Vlandian territory, to be honest, but this sells, as we know, for around 1200, so it would be quite nice for us to maybe do something here. And there is a potential lady we might be able to marry as well. I know for certain that Liena is an extremely good vassal to marry if you are a male character. I did do that once with my very first character, Barney, you know, all those years ago when I first started playing Bannerlord, when it first came out, and I married her, and she was absolutely fantastic. She has great combat skills, she's got a good steward skill and all that wonderful stuff, so I'm thinking, hey, you know what, maybe we want to talk to her after this, if we can, and maybe try to persuade her, but obviously bear in mind, I have extremely limited charm skill at the moment, and I'm not sure if we can even do it. So we're just going to check to see whether she's actually married already, because it very well could be the case that she is, and in which case we're not obviously going to be able to do that. So we should probably you know, just check and see whether it's even a possibility. Because if it is, then, you know, that might be someone that we want to look into a little bit later on. Okay, what do we got going on here? There we go. Nice little headshot right there. Nice. And now we can go on to the next one. Okay, one-handed and shield. Not a big fan. Not a big fan. We also have to deal with a crossbowman here as well. Nice little maneuver into his space just as he lowered his guard. And hopefully we'll be able to slash at this guy's head. Nope. Okay, bad angle from me, but that's okay. That was good enough. He was taken unawares by the looks of things. Ooh, okay, they've given me a polearm here. I am not a big fan of this polearm. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this polearm because it is really, really fun to use, but you can see why I don't like it. The enemy is consistently able to beat me with it for some reason. I don't know why. I guess it's because my skill is just not good enough with it, or just because I'm not used to using it, to be honest. I don't know. Either one of those things. But yes, here's Liena, by the way. She is, as I say, very good at what she does. She's got good combat skills, and I'm a bit worried about having some issues here against her, but we're just going to have to try and throw her off a little bit. Okay, here we go. Can we... Nope, that's not going to work. Alright, that was good enough, right? That was good enough. Nothing too dramatic, but we were able to do it. And there we have it, another 6 renown. Now, obviously, this is literally just a way for us to power level our renown quite nicely here, as well as our cash. And we will inevitably get to a point where we can now, well, we can definitely sell this for 1,000. And we will then be able to get another caravan. Now, that is obviously going to be helping us even further to achieve what we need to achieve. So, obviously, as we can tell here, if we want to, what we can do is we can take the party leader thing that gives us +5 prisoner limit and a minus 10% chance to our prisoners for them to escape. Personally, I don't really care about that too much. What I care about mostly is the +30% to persuasion chance and the party size. Because if I do want to speak to Liena, which is inevitably what I would like to do in just a second, if she's actually single, because let's face it, we don't... Well, we have no chance otherwise, so let's actually just take a quick look, shall we? Is she actually? I can't tell. I can't tell. So, alive. Lord Lady, I guess. Not married. I don't even know whether we can even see... Yeah, no, she's not married. She's not married. Okay, so that's absolutely fantastic. So we can go in here. Going to have to pay a bribe to enter, which is not exactly great. Hello there. Hello there. I wish to profess yourself, perhaps you and I. Ooh, she's not really looking forward to meeting with us. Yeah, I don't blame you. I really don't blame you, miss. But yes, anyway, let's have a look. 100%? What? Why do we have 100%? Oh, okay, apparently we have 100%. Well, that's not bad. Okay, let's go with that then. Okay, that's actually hilarious. I'm not entirely sure why we have 100%, but we do. And there we have it. We have a fair amount in common. So yeah, the first conversation that you have with a prospective spouse is always an easy one. Just bear that in mind. It is always going to be an extremely easy one, and then after that, that's when things get a little bit harsh. So, not sure if we're going to be able to do the second one, but I'm just going to go in here real fast because I'd like to buy some grain just for a little bit of extra money. Well, should we say a little bit of extra money? No, a little bit of extra food to make sure that we actually don't starve while we are doing this quest. Okay, so we need to wait here for some days. Okay, let's do it. Okay, deserter party. This might actually be kind of harsh for us. They have 28 and we have 49, but we obviously have quite a few cavalry. This is the same map that we were on just a minute ago against the poachers, so I shouldn't have too much to worry about here. Let me actually just take a quick look. Where are the enemy? Okay, they actually have some... Ooh, okay, I'm not a terribly big fan of going over these hills here. Oh well. Wait a minute, where are my people? Where are my people? Okay, so they're around about here. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Okay, I'm going to tell my people just to charge straight on in because we want them to be as aggressive as possible against the cavalry because as you can see, the enemy's infantry are super far away. So we want to kill as many of their cavalry as we can, as fast as we can. And of course, you've got to bear in mind we are also going into combat with the allied villager forces, and because they are right next to us, we kind of need to assist them as much as possible too, because if we help them in the battle you know, against the cavalry, we will then inevitably gain a much greater advantage as time goes on, because if we are able to eliminate some of the enemy's cavalry, then things are going to be much easier. And is that one of mine? That's not one of mine, that's a villager. Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Oh no, that was actually one of mine. That was actually one of mine. Yeah, these are my archers right here. These are my archers right here. So we're actually going to have to get them out of there, to be honest. And let's get my cavalry to come over here. And maybe we can tell them to actually help us out a little bit. We need to kind of consolidate them just a small amount, just to make sure that they have the stopping power to be able to eliminate these infantry, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to tell them to charge once again, and they should be able to tear apart these infantry relatively fast. And that seems to be the case. There we go. Yeah, but that was my bad. We did actually end up letting a couple of our archers down there, but as I said, we're mostly going to be just leveling up my noble troop tree anyway, and making sure we have a decent amount of heavy cavalry going forward. And there's 3.2 renown, actually a pretty decent amount of renown right there. And we also got some nice prisoners as well, pretty good value prisoners. I'm quite happy with that. We're also going to be letting one of these nomad bandits go. We're going to be, woo, that's a nice sword. That is a real nice sword. That's exactly the reason why sometimes doing these kinds of tasks are extremely useful. And look at this, he actually will give me 1400 if we want to. Personally, for me, I'm going to say half the coin just so that I get a little bit of cash, but also a little bit of relation. Pretty happy with that. Then we can head on back here because we did gain a significant reward in the form of this sword. And you can see how much we can sell this for, 1800 no less. That is actually incredible. And we also have the ability to sell some of these war mounts as well if we want to, because we actually gained some of those too. So we are doing very, very nicely. Unfortunately, we just do not have a companion that can take the reins of a new caravan. So that's the thing that I just need to look for. Aha! Is she actually any good? No, it doesn't look like it. She's good, she's decent, don't get me wrong, she's decent, but it's not going to be what we want to go for here. There is also a tournament going on. I don't really want to do another tournament because I've done a lot of them in this particular episode. I don't really want to spam tournaments over and over, but it is the most effective way, as I say, of getting you know, what we need. Yeah. Anyway, this guy's actually a surgeon, so I'm thinking we're probably going to be getting him. I'm not going to be a surgeon with this character. We are going to try to get preventive medicine, which will require, I believe, 1 focus point in medicine for me. But I will not be speccing into it any more than that. So I'm thinking we're probably going to get this guy. There we go. He has no gear, by the way. He has absolutely 0 gear, so he's probably going to be extremely useless early on. But I just want to try to get someone that's actually going to be a relatively decent trader. But we don't seem to be getting very lucky with that, do we? No, not at all. We're having some pretty bad luck in actual fact. Nope, no one here either. Alright, well, we can actually buy some tools here if we want to, because, let's face it, buying some tools here might actually be kind of good. Yeah, we can buy it for 59. I guess I will buy a couple, and then we'll go on to Kuyas and the various other places, and also check their taverns, because that's, in fact, going to be pretty decent. Wow, she's gaining us a massive amount of trade skill, as you can see. Really, really nice. Maybe we can... Yeah, we could sell tools here for a decent amount. Well, what about olives? Oh, olives are actually not too bad at Ortisia, but I don't really want to go back there at the moment. You know, I don't want to go, you know, back and forth, slingshotting all the way back and forth all the time. That is not really going to be on the cards for me at the moment. I would like to just continue onward, try to see if I can maybe sell my I'm thinking maybe the horses that I gained, potentially. Yeah, as you can see, I can sell the Vlandian horses here that I got for free, by the way. Got these for free. I can sell those for 1,600, well, 1,700 actually. And we can also sell the tools here for 150. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Look at this. We're going to gain 5,500, which is absolutely incredible. And we can also sell beer at Kuyas for a decent amount. So we're just going to buy a bunch of beer too. Going to buy 40 beers, and now we have 16,000. Very, very nice. So let's actually see. No companions here either. Sad. Very, very sad indeed. Do I have my next trade? Yes, look at my trade skill. Oh, it's going up real nicely. Okay, so let's have a look. Minus 15% price penalty while selling animals. That sounds like an absolutely fantastic thing to go for. So that's what I'm going to go with right now. Because we might, thanks to one of you in the comments, we might want to get into the cow buying and selling trade as well. Because apparently cows are really good as well as horses. So I'm thinking, hey, you know what? Let's give it a go. I've never actually done that before in this game. So maybe it's not going to work out too well for me, but could be something to think about. Anyway, the beer here, we've actually started to drink some of the beer, which I'm not that best pleased about, but oh well, my people do tend to do that kind of thing, don't they? Yes, indeed. Okay, we can buy some oil here and actually sell that at Sanala for double the price, which might be a nice thing to do too, but I think we're going to just continue onward here. I'd like to check the arena. No, not something that I'm looking for. What about the leaderboard? How are we doing? I've only won 14. Yeah, as you can see, Guzid has 26. It's going to take me a lot longer for me to win that, but inevitably we will be able to get the #1 spot. It is only 1 renown every single day, but with the amount of days that you're going to be running around, it's going to be a pretty significant gain overall. So you've got to think about that. Anyway, we'll just take some more tools from here if we can, if they're not that much more expensive. They're okay, but as you can see, they are going up in price. So I'm thinking, shall we go to... We could go to the favorite of many trader for buying horses. We could go down to this particular place, and we might be able to find a good companion there as well. So let's have a look. What about the tournament? Ooh, a fine steel leaf spear. Might be kind of fun for us to go for that, but we're just going to sell... my tools don't even sell for a very good amount here, so I'm actually going to not do that for now. And instead we're probably going to buy... what should we buy here? What should we buy here? I'm thinking we'll probably buy some sumpter horses. Buy a couple of those. I want to make sure that I'm not going too overboard with my herd. As you can see, the herd deficit has now started to kick in a little bit here. So I kind of want to make sure that we don't go too overboard. And I think that's probably going to be it. Ooh, hello. Who are you? This is a guy with just combat skills. Where are all the people with the trade skill or the tactics or the scouting? Basically, I want anyone with those kinds of skills to be my trader. But it seems like that's not happening right now. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.